Hi everybody, my name is Nicole Gerard from the GYST Method, and I am here today with
Kirby James from the GYST Method.
Exactly, and today we are going to be talking about something it's a conversation that's been happening in one of the CEO forum groups that I'm a part of on LinkedIn. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because A, it's been on our list, it has to do with technology and teams, and B, it's a conversation that's been going on for a year.
A year.
So I have it in front of me for reference. So in our discussion forum, it's a private forum, so we can speak freely, which is lovely.
Yeah, they're invaluable.
Yes. So this particular forum, an article was posted, and it's what I call an advertorial. So an advertorial means a company writes an article that's supposed to be informative, but it's actually hiding a promotion.
Right, it's a commercial.
It's been around for 100 years, as long as marketing has been going on. So the crux of this particular advertorial was that the company offered shared workspace for individuals that work not all in the same location.
Right.
And their point was that email is great, phone is great, faxing is great, but...
Does anybody fax?
I hope, listen. Another tangent on printing.
Take a
things
picture
at
with your
home.
phone and email it.
Exactly.
Don't fax.
But this brings my point. Nowhere in the article did they speak about leveraging technology in the ways that exist right now in order to bring together your team. So the main point was nothing beats face-to-face when it comes to relationship building, talking with your team, communicating.
How 2000?
Yes. So in the discussions, my point was that nowhere in this particular advertorial, and I know why, because they sell shared space. They want you to physically come in. So it's like WeWork or, any of the locations.
That's right.
I get it. From
Nothing's better than what we've got.
Precisely. However, there is a huge disservice in that message, and I find that it's prevalent in organizations, especially the traditional corporate setup.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, the small entrepreneurial's less so.
Oh, okay. So, story. When I left the corporate environment, I spent nearly 2 decades in corporate, meaning brick and mortar, traditional hierarchies, bureaucracy, all of that fun stuff.
Perfect.
I find that in that environment, you're often shielded from the progress and innovation that is going on outside of the corporate world.
Yeah, and you know why.
I do know why. However, it's incredible what you actually get exposed to and realize is out there
Right.
as soon as you leave. Now, admittedly, you need to look for it, you need to learn it, you need to leverage it, but it's there. So for me, being a huge advocate of video, I'm on video for everything, marketing, communication, courses, training, get it in video for a number of reasons. The thing that bothered me most about the recommendations that this forum topic was talking about is that face-to-face is the only way to build relationships.
And that is such an old mindset.
Absolutely. So from my perspective, and we've done this together, organizations are oftentimes afraid to introduce this new type of technology within the organization. They're afraid of privacy concerns, they're afraid of breaches, they're afraid people won't know how, don't want to. They're not leveraging it in the way that they can and should.
And I think another dimension that's part of it is the real challenge that comes to IT departments about hardware currency, meaning how up to date your hardware is, because so many of my friends, they're walking around, you look at their laptops and you're thinking, oh my gracious.
Yes.
And it's because they're trying to keep the prices down on the hardware because they're flipping it over so fast.
Yeah.
And so unlike, what you have and what I have, which is, state of the art equipment, they've dialed it back to 30-40% of that price to try to keep their expenses down at a cost.
Yes. And I think that's actually where my point about leveraging video communication actually ties in really nicely to this topic. Because while I agree face-to-face can be best, getting somebody on video achieves the exact same thing.
I don't know that I agree with exact, but wow, is it close.
It is so close that I cannot see the argument for the expense, the time, the travel, and just the stress of trying to bring in a remote team when you can leverage digital.
And I see exceptions, like a client that you and I know. They bring a team of 70, 80 people from across Canada together.
How often?
Once, maybe twice a year. That's one thing.
Good point.
But, you know, on a weekly, daily basis,
Yeah.
you just can't.
Yes.
And I've been part of that machine in the corporate world where we had operations on 4 continents.
Yeah.
But
you're flying there to go see them.
Oh, don't you know? Now, part of it, in the role I was in, unless somebody walked around with a stabilizing camera and showed me around to everything, it wasn't pragmatic.
Yes.
Yet there was so much we could have done.
Yeah.
We attempted to do it with phone. It went okay. It didn't go as well as, I agree with you. I think if we had video, and nowadays, I mean, a $99 4K webcam is crazy. I mean, the camera,
your smartphone.
yeah, the camera that's in
Period.
and I'm proud to say Google Pixel, like that's a 4K
Yes.
camera. There's like, that's amazing.
Well, it's not even that. It's the notion that, and we all understand this because the psychology of it, the conversation, seeing the tone, your facial expression, your body language, you can see us right now.
Yeah.
You can see my face. You can hear my voice. You can see my gestures, that I'm very French and I talk with my hands. All of that still comes across in video.
Yeah.
And I will argue, especially today, in the last 5 years. Now, when I first tried to introduce video web conferencing in corporate, it was probably 8 or 9 years ago. It wasn't as great as it is now. But every day, newer and newer solutions that are easier, faster, safer to use are on the market.
Absolutely.
But even then, like there was a time in my career in management where I was spending 2 to 3 weeks per month in a different province, a different country. However, I needed to conference in the executives to speak with clients or do what we needed to do. And at one point I thought, this is ridiculous. Like, people's schedules don't match up. We can't all fly just to have a 20-minute meeting, which, let me tell you, happens all the time.
Been there.
You fly for 3 hours, you have a half an hour meeting, and then you all go home. Why? So I said, like, let's conference each other in. And the first thing we did was leverage the, the tablets, the Apple tablets, to do FaceTime.
Absolutely. I've actually done that, facilitating a board of directors meeting in Las Vegas.
Yep.
And we had 7 of the 9 board members in the room, and we set up 2 other iPads. Actually, we had 3. We had an iPad basically representing each of the board members who wasn't there,
Perfect.
and then one iPad at the front that sort of projected the whole thing back out to them.
Yeah.
What I found was astounding. The people who were there using FaceTime were actually more vocal and more engaged than the people in the room who were and I'm not going to name the organization, were much too busy playing with one of these in a board meeting. But when you're on camera, you can't hide.
Precisely. And that's actually something I do want to dig in a little bit deeper at another time, but just the behavior that surrounds virtual workers on camera is very different. I've written articles about this. There's a course that I have for one client that we've done. It's very different and there are reasons for it.
Absolutely.
However, for this topic today, what I found super interesting is that not only did the individuals commenting on the advertorial say, yes, there's other options, but nothing will beat face-to-face. I saw things like, I've been doing this for 30 years and there's nothing like building a relationship face-to-face with somebody. You need to be there in person. Now let's just take a step back for a second. Oftentimes, if individuals have some social anxiety, they might be introverted, they might be a little bit shy, leveraging video as opposed to physically being with somebody can be career and life changing for them, for one.
Absolutely. And I don't think you can underplay that one.
No.
Because it's if you're an extrovert like we are, and you're very, very comfortable in a social milieu, you walk into that room and now you're there with all your peers whom you've only ever heard on a phone or read an email from. And now everybody's together. If that's not your happy place,
it's stressful.
You're actually at a disadvantage.
Absolutely.
And what the research is showing is that the quiet, introverted people can so often have such amazing insights, and you don't get to hear them because, and I've learned this lesson too.
Because people like us
don't shut
talk
up.
Over top of
yeah,
you.
we just keep going.
Yeah.
And an introvert, like they're literally almost having epileptic style seizures as they screw themselves up to talk, and then every time an extrovert goes, oh but, they shut down.
Yes.
And we are denied what they think and see.
Absolutely.
And video can help.
So when I take a look at this, and just to bring in again the crossover that I made between being in corporate and working with corporate, and then moving out, and my clients changed. Over the last 5 or 6 years, the clients that when I was on my own, predominantly worked with were in the tech space.
Yep.
They were entrepreneurs, small business and startups. They had no corporate DNA to them because they were new. And the way they leveraged technology for my little corporate brain blew my mind. To this day, there are individuals that I worked with so very closely that I saw on camera 2 to 3 days. I've never met physically in person.
Right.
I know who they're married to. I know what their family looks like. I know what they do on their days off. I know what their leisure activities are. I know so much about them that
it's as if you met them.
It's as if I met them. I have a list of people that I could call, Skype, Slack, Zoom, Jabber, join me right now and say, hey, I need to talk. And they're there. Where do they live? On the other side of the world. There's a copywriter right now that I could tell you so much about. He lives in Germany, never met him. There's someone in India. There's actually 3 programmers in India that I could call up right now, never met them. A whole host of individuals in the US. I can refer them. We refer clients to one another. The relationship is the same. So when I take a look at people saying that face-to-face is best, period, I don't agree. Of course, it's anecdotally.
But it's a closed mindset.
It's a very closed mindset. And the fact that you see this happening across the globe, outside of corporate, just shows to me how much the corporate space needs to grow.
And that actually brings up another thing that we talked about before starting, which was with businesses, even the smaller ones, being very, very global, there's another dimension that enters into this, which I was particularly sensitive to and saw astounding reactions about, which is making sure that you're not like so locked into the thinking that our head office is in this city, Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver.
Yeah.
And that therefore all of the meetings work off of that time zone.
Oh, yes.
So you and I worked with a client in Vancouver, and they were considerate in that they would, be mindful of our day.
Yeah.
Yet the meetings started at 9 their time, which means they started at noon our time.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Yet I've also run meetings with people in China.
Of course.
Super tough because you're 12 or 13 hours out, and asking them to meet at 9.
Yeah.
Now it's like it's family time.
Of course.
And what we used to do regularly in our meetings was we didn't meet at 9. We would meet like at 7. I actually can remember doing video conference calls at 6 in the morning my time, so that they could go home after a long day's work. And I mean, I just got up a little bit earlier, and
precisely.
I just put a shirt on and had jammy bottoms. But
you can take turns.
Exactly, we took turns.
Yes, because another thing that a lot of people don't seem to see the connection between is that and I've seen this happen again and again, we talk a lot about the culture. When a team is remote and you are working off video communication and asynchronous communication, your culture and communication practices have to be so tight that what ends up happening is this mutual respect for one another organically develops. I made you get up at 6 a.m. last week. Let's flip it. I'll do it at like 7 o'clock my time. You take turns. It's reciprocal, which is wonderful. And it's not something you see in person.
Well, and it's really fascinating to me because, we've got another episode coming up about culture. it's those things that normalize a culture. They're the message.
Yes.
Oh, we're all about integrity and respect, but I'm going to make you stay till 9 o'clock whenever we meet. It's
exactly.
Like, how is that respectful?
Yeah.
Right? It's not. There's no way you can twist that one to make it come out that way.
Yeah. So I think my biggest takeaway, and it's because I saw the comments continue to come in for the last year, that there seemed to be a split between, and I recognize this, and I'm sorry, it's true. The individuals that are adamant that it's face-to-face only are more often than not the individuals that have no experience with another way of doing something. Yeah. I get it. You don't know what you don't know. However, there's more out there, right?
And that's, I think, what we're all about is in our efforts around the whole GYST approach is to intentionally or intentionally cutting yourself off from the pace of change in this world.
Yes.
Is a holy crap, get your stuff together moment.
Yeah.
Because just because you're familiar with it or just because you have doubts, you've eliminated what is really a way to remain on top of your business
Absolutely.
field. Without technology, which is now woven almost literally into our skin.
Yeah.
If you haven't embraced it, understand it, and really jumped right into it, you have done an immense disservice to your business.
Yeah, I agree. So I think the main takeaway that I want to bring across is that it's touching on exactly what you just said. Just because you haven't done it before doesn't mean that it doesn't work. Doesn't mean that it's not just as good. Sometimes better for a lot of reasons we can dive into in another episode. And it doesn't have to be scary.
No,
like, just because it isn't a Microsoft Office product doesn't mean it isn't good and you can't use it in corporate.
Safely.
Safely, precisely.
No, because that's a genuine concern.
Absolutely. I agree.
And it's even something, for those of you who have watched us long enough, you'll see our evolution in terms of our comfort in front of a camera. And it's a learned thing for sure. Letting your guard down and just being who you are.
Yeah.
Is actually, I think, a wonderful side benefit of the technology, which is if I only get to meet with you this way in little bites, putting up my game face, it just,
who are you?
Could we just get along? Could we just be ourselves?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, we're all doing talking head puppet things, and it's disingenuous.
No. So what I would like to do is encourage everyone to actually start playing with the tech.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of it, and don't be afraid to leverage video. I'm the video poster child.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to leverage it in a number of facets of the organization.
Absolutely.
Like, just play with it. No one cares about your hair. No one cares about your shirt. No one cares about your face. They care about the information.
So I just want to put one last thing before I'm sure Nicole's about to sign off. Yeah. I had a coaching client who aspired to become a media personality and to do some very interesting things.
Okay.
And was all, I'm going to write. And it's like, okay, you've got a look, you've got a persona. You're leaving 80% on the table. You need to take video of yourself.
Nice.
And this person would rather have done just about anything unmentionable other than set up their phone in the kitchen, put it on a stand, and record themselves.
Yeah.
I have a very simple piece of advice to help people get their stuff together.
Good.
Get over it.
Yeah.
If you can be a human in front of another human,
it's true.
All this thing is a transmitter.
Yeah.
You're just being you.
Yeah.
And if you've got hang-ups with how you look,
we can still see you in real life.
Yeah, that's exactly it. What? Like, I've got certain sunglasses, I can't see you?
Yeah.
We see you, and you're wonderful, and it's all going to work out fine.
Absolutely. Okay, so with that said, we will absolutely dive deeper into more of the technology, how you can leverage it, how you can utilize it, especially video. Which touches so many different parts of the business, not to mention improving your bottom line. So with that, we will leave you. My name is Nicole Gerard.
And I'm Kirby James. And we strongly encourage you to speak up on this particular issue, because if it's been in a CEO forum for a year, chances are it's something you're probably struggling with at your workplace.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Till next time.